Ladies and gentlemen, today we journey back to the fascinating age of British pre-decimal coins, a time when every halfpenny told a story of craftsmanship, empire, and enduring legacy. From the early strikes of Elizabeth II's 1957 issue to the final mintings of 1967, these coins mark the last glorious decade before the halfpenny vanished from circulation forever. Each year carries subtle changes, hidden rarities, and a glimpse into the heart of post-war Britain's economy. So, let's uncover the history, design, and the surprising value behind the Elizabeth II halfpennies from 1957 to 1967. As we step beyond the introduction into the very first chapter of this remarkable series, we begin with the coin that set the tone for a new British era, the 1957 Elizabeth II halfpenny. The year 1957 marked a moment of confidence and stability in the United Kingdom. The war had ended just over a decade earlier, and Britain was finding its rhythm again, rebuilding cities, industries, and its currency system. The halfpenny, though the smallest denomination in circulation, symbolized everyday life, commerce, and the enduring power of the British monarchy. Struck in bright bronze at the Royal Mint, the 1957 halfpenny carried both history and precision. Its compact circular form glowed with a rich, reddish tone when freshly minted, slowly developing a deep brown patina over time. Each piece was a work of metalcraft. Copper, tin, and zinc fused together in perfect harmony. On its obverse, the coin proudly bore the youthful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Mary Gillick. Her uncrowned head faced right, radiating grace, dignity, and the optimism of a new reign. This design became one of the most beloved royal depictions in British coinage, a timeless image of hope after hardship. The reverse side featured the iconic Golden Hind, the legendary ship of Sir Francis Drake. It was more than a design. It was a symbol of exploration, courage, and the spirit of adventure that defined British history. Every fine line of the ship's sails told a story of voyages across the unknown seas. When collectors hold the 1957 halfpenny, they hold more than metal. They hold a piece of British heritage, minted at a time when the empire's influence still reached across the globe. It was the currency of shops, trains, letters, and school lunches, the rhythm of everyday life in mid-century England. Though millions were produced, not every coin survived in pristine condition. The true treasures today are those uncirculated or proof-like examples, preserved with their original shine, free of scratches or dulling. These coins reveal the Royal Mint's craftsmanship in all its detail. Collectors worldwide seek the 1957 issue for its balance between accessibility and beauty. It stands as one of the most collectible early Elizabeth II coins, marking the beginning of her long reign and the last years of the pre-decimal system. Over time, its popularity grew as numismatists realized the historical significance behind the coin's simple design. It became a piece that defined a transition from post-war austerity to modern prosperity. In today's market, a brilliant uncirculated 1957 halfpenny can command impressive prices among collectors. Exceptional specimens, especially those with full mint luster and no wear, have been known to sell for up to $1,200 at specialized auctions. Even circulated examples hold solid value when well kept. The charm of this coin lies not only in rarity, but in its story, a story that links ordinary citizens to the majesty of a young queen and the craftsmanship of a nation rebuilding itself. Numismatists often describe the 1957 halfpenny as the silent gem of the Elizabethan bronze series. It's not just a coin, it's a time capsule. Each curve and inscription reflects a Britain in transition, proud yet humble, strong yet refined. Its inscription, Elizabeth IIDEIGRATIA Regina F., reminds us that this was more than currency. It was a declaration of monarchy, faith, and identity. These words were not mere text, they were a legacy pressed into metal. What truly makes the 1957 half-penny valuable is its connection to history. Collectors don't just buy coins like this. They invest in emotion, heritage, and artistry. Every shining example represents a victory of design and national pride. Many people are surprised to learn how a coin once worth half a penny can now fetch hundreds of dollars. But that's the beauty of numismatics. It turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. For anyone who owns one, the message is clear. Never underestimate what lies in your collection. Hidden among old coins and forgotten drawers might rest a treasure worth far more than you imagine. The 1957 Elizabeth II halfpenny is more than just a valuable collectible. It's a reminder that even the smallest things can hold the biggest stories. It's living proof that British coinage, with its elegance and endurance, continues to shine across generations. After the success of the 1957 issue, Britain continued its tradition of fine minting with the 1958 Elizabeth II halfpenny, a coin that carried the same royal grace but revealed subtle changes that made it even more intriguing for collectors today. The year 1958 stood as another proud moment in the early reign of Queen Elizabeth II. Britain was evolving rapidly. Industries were flourishing. Modern technology was emerging, and the nation's currency reflected a confident future. The halfpenny, though small, was part of that powerful movement. Each 1958 halfpenny carried with it the dignity of the British crown and the continuity of a monarchy that had regained stability after turbulent decades. It wasn't just another coin. It was a testament to national endurance and craftsmanship. The Royal Mint, known for its precision and legacy, maintained the same elegant design seen a year earlier. Yet every 1958 strike displayed minute differences in tone, strike depth, and metal finish, giving each piece its own individual charm. On the obverse, the youthful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Mary Gillick, continued to symbolize renewal and grace. Collectors often remark on the warmth of her expression, a portrayal that humanized monarchy in the mid-20th century. The reverse again showcased Sir Francis Drake's Golden Hind, but in many 1958 coins, the details of the ship appeared crisper, with sharper sail lines and deeper engraving. These subtle variations became a fascination for numismatists across the decades. For ordinary citizens, the coin represented value and trust. It passed through millions of hands every day, buying small necessities in post-war Britain. But for collectors, that same bronze disc now holds far greater worth than it ever did in 1958. Over time, the 1958 halfpenny has gained a reputation as one of the more desirable early Elizabethan bronze coins. Its balanced composition, clean relief, and well-preserved examples make it a favorite among serious British coin enthusiasts. The appeal also lies in rarity by condition. While millions were minted, finding a coin in brilliant uncirculated or proof-like state is far from easy. Each untouched example represents a moment in history frozen in perfection. Auction houses have seen remarkable enthusiasm for this year's issue. In some cases, coins with full original luster and razor-sharp strike quality have sold for as much as $1,500, reflecting how condition transforms modest currency into a collector's treasure. Even circulated pieces command respect, especially when they retain strong details and minimal wear. Every mark and tone tells a story of British commerce, human connection, and time itself. Collectors often describe the 1958 halfpenny as a coin that glows with subtle elegance. Its bronze surface, once bright, now matures into shades of rich chocolate and chestnut, hues that only decades can produce. Beyond its physical beauty, this coin symbolizes a bridge between the old and the new, between the empire's closing chapters and the modernization of the Commonwealth. Each 1958 piece holds that quiet dignity. Its continued rise in value, reflects not only numismatic demand, but emotional attachment. Many collectors see these coins as artifacts of an age when quality mattered, when even the smallest denomination carried pride. The design's artistic balance, the poised queen on one side and the historic ship on the other, makes the 1958 halfpenny an enduring icon of British minting mastery. Its legend continues to grow as new generations of collectors rediscover these coins, fascinated by their history and their unexpected worth. In collections across the world, the 1958 halfpenny stands proudly among the most cherished Elizabethan bronzes. For many, it's not simply about metal or market. It's about holding a piece of the past that still feels alive. Every gleam of bronze, every detail in relief, whispers stories of an era that shaped modern Britain. And as values climb and the passion for vintage coinage spreads, one truth remains. The 1958 Elizabeth II halfpenny has transformed from a humble currency into a symbol of pride, heritage, and hidden fortune. As the 1958 issue faded from circulation, Britain's minting legacy pressed onward, and in 1960, a new chapter of the Elizabethan halfpenny emerged, capturing the nation's growing confidence in a rapidly modernizing world. The 1960 Elizabeth II halfpenny was struck during a period of transformation. Britain was stepping boldly into a new decade, one defined by innovation, optimism, and the quiet strength of tradition. The coins of this era mirrored that balance perfectly. Produced at the Royal Mint in London, the 1960 halfpenny continued to represent stability in the face of change. It carried the same enduring bronze alloy, a blend of copper, tin, and zinc, whose warm tone seemed to embody the strength of British identity. On the obverse, Queen Elizabeth II's youthful portrait still shone with elegance. Mary Gillick's timeless design had by now become an icon, representing both continuity and grace. Each detail of her profile, from the delicate hair ribbon to the serene gaze, reflected an era grounded in dignity. The reverse remained faithful to Sir Francis Drake's Golden Hind, that legendary ship of discovery. Yet minting quality in 1960 improved subtly, with finer texture and sharper definition visible on high-grade examples. For collectors, these distinctions make this coin a prized piece of craftsmanship. What makes the 1960 halfpenny stand out is not rarity by mintage, but by preservation. Millions circulated, but only a small fraction survived untouched by wear. Those few, still gleaming after more than 60 years, are now highly sought after by collectors worldwide. Every surviving uncirculated coin feels like a window into mid-century Britain, a world of steam trains, classic cars, and post-war rebuilding. The coin's bronze surface carries the quiet glow of that age, a glow that time itself cannot dim. For numismatists, the 1960 issue marks a pivotal point in Elizabeth II's early coinage series. It shows the refinement of minting techniques and the stability of British design during years of social and industrial growth. Collectors love this coin for its authenticity. It wasn't flashy or rare by intention. It was ordinary Britain at its finest. And that's exactly what makes it extraordinary today. In pristine condition, examples of the 1960 halfpenny have achieved exceptional prices, especially when preserved in proof-like brilliance. Some graded specimens have sold for as much as $1,800, proving that even the most modest coin can become a symbol of enduring value. The coin's power lies in its story, a small object that outlived empires, generations, and currencies, yet continues to speak of resilience and beauty. It's more than metal, it's memory forged in bronze. Every inscription on its surface, Elizabeth IIDEIGRATIA Regina F., reminds collectors of Britain's unbroken royal tradition and the craftsmanship that defined the Royal Mint for centuries. For many collectors, the 1960 halfpenny holds sentimental value as well. It represents the age of grandparents, the era of handwritten letters and shopfront coins, when a simple half-penny could still buy something meaningful. It's often said that value isn't always about rarity, it's about relevance. And this coin remains relevant because it embodies a timeless truth. Greatness can come from simplicity. The 1960 half-penny stands as a bronze emblem of national pride. Its warm sheen, fine engraving, and historical depth make it a cornerstone of any Elizabethan collection. As decades passed and Britain prepared to transition toward decimal currency, this coin became part of a fading legacy, the last whisper of an age defined by craftsmanship rather than convenience. Today, collectors across the globe chase these coins with renewed enthusiasm. Each well-preserved 1960 piece carries not only monetary worth, but emotional power, a tangible connection to the spirit of an era gone by. Those who hold it in their hands understand what true value means. The fusion of artistry, history, and timeless design. It's not just a collectible. It's a reminder that even the smallest coin can carry the weight of a nation's story. As the 1960 edition faded gracefully from circulation, a new chapter arrived, the 1963 Elizabeth II halfpenny, a coin that carried the familiar grace of the Queen's portrait, yet represented subtle evolution in Britain's minting mastery. By 1963, the world was changing at a remarkable pace. Britain stood on the edge of modernity, television, technology, and trade were reshaping daily life. Yet amid this transformation, the halfpenny remained a reassuring constant, connecting people to a heritage that stretched back centuries. The 1963 halfpenny embodied that balance between tradition and progress. Though its design remained classic, the year marked a refined phase in production, where minting techniques achieved sharper precision and cleaner finish. Struck in rich bronze, this coin reflected the enduring warmth of British currency. Its surface gleamed when new, a deep, reddish glow that symbolized both stability and pride. To collectors today, that natural bronze luster remains one of the most captivating features of the 1963 issue. The obverse again displayed Queen Elizabeth II's youthful profile, designed by Mary Gillick, still full of poise and simplicity. By this point in her reign, the portrait had become an emblem of post-war Britain, young, determined, and full of promise. On the reverse, Sir Francis Drake's Golden Hind sailed proudly once more, its sails stretching across the coin's surface like a symbol of exploration and endurance. Though unchanged in theme, the engraving in 1963 coins often appeared deeper and more defined, giving the design a renewed vitality. Collectors admire this year for its refined craftsmanship. The 1963 issue is often described as one of the cleanest strikes of the Elizabethan halfpenny series. The balance between detail, texture, and finish was nearly perfect. As the Royal Mint standards improved, fewer errors or misstrikes occurred, making the surviving examples beautifully consistent. That precision is one reason the 1963 halfpenny commands admiration among numismatists worldwide. Beyond its artistry, this coin holds emotional weight. It captures an era when Britain was confidently stepping into a global future. When the monarchy was respected, the pound was strong, and the craftsmanship of coins mirrored national pride. In today's collector market, the 1963 halfpenny has gained impressive value, particularly in uncirculated or proof-like condition. Well-preserved examples, with full mint shine and no marks of handling, have fetched as much as $2,000 at dedicated coin auctions. Each unblemished specimen feels like a message sent from another time, a perfect reminder of mid-century British refinement and stability. Even circulated examples, when properly cared for, retain beauty and worth. Their soft patina, gentle wear, and surviving clarity speak to lives lived and histories shared. Numismatists appreciate the 1963 edition not only for its look, but for what it represents: the height of Elizabethan pre-decimal coinage. Just a few years later, Britain would begin planning the decimal transition, making this coin one of the last of its kind. The inscription, Elizabeth IIDEIGRATIA Regina F, stood proudly along the obverse, echoing centuries of royal faith and service. Every letter was carved with precision, a statement of identity in metal. For collectors, this year stands out as one of the most balanced issues ever minted under Queen Elizabeth II. Its aesthetic perfection and emotional depth have kept it in high demand, and its market strength continues to grow. Holding a 1963 halfpenny is like holding a piece of living memory, a reminder of Britain's craftsmanship, resilience, and quiet elegance. It's not just about the dollar value, it's about the story. A story told in bronze, preserved through time and cherished across generations. The 1963 halfpenny remains a gem of mid-century British minting, a coin that proves small details can carry immense significance. Its glow, its history, and its artistry ensure it will always hold a special place in the world of numismatics. Following the precision and refinement of the 1963 issue, the 1964 Elizabeth II halfpenny carried forward the legacy with quiet confidence, a coin that marked both continuity and the beginning of the end for Britain's pre-decimal era. The year 1964 was one of anticipation and change. Britain stood at a crossroads, balancing its proud traditions with a future that promised transformation. Amid this shifting landscape, the familiar halfpenny continued to circulate, its bronze glow still a comforting sight in countless British hands. By this time, Queen Elizabeth II had already become a symbol of stability and grace across the Commonwealth. Her portrait on the obverse of the 1964 halfpenny reflected not just youth, but a growing maturity, a queen firmly established in her reign and adored by her people. The Royal Mint's craftsmanship in 1964 remained exceptional. Each halfpenny was struck with remarkable clarity, ensuring that every contour of the Queen's profile and every line of the Golden Hind was rendered with care. The reverse, once again showcasing Sir Francis Drake's Golden Hind, continued to represent Britain's adventurous spirit. Its sails appeared almost alive, filled with the wind of discovery, courage, and progress. For collectors, this imagery symbolizes the eternal journey of British heritage. While design consistency remained, the 1964 issue marked subtle technical improvements. Minting quality grew sharper, surfaces smoother, and details more defined, showing how the Royal Mint adapted its techniques to achieve near perfection. The composition, bronze, an alloy of copper, tin, and zinc, still carried that distinctive reddish tone that deepened beautifully with time. Each coin aged differently, making every surviving example a unique work of art. Collectors appreciate the 1964 halfpenny as one of the final masterpieces before decimalization. It holds the charm of a bygone currency and the allure of a design that would soon be retired forever. The market value of the 1964 halfpenny reflects that sentiment. In pristine, uncirculated condition, some examples have achieved auction prices up to $2,200, especially when preserved with flawless mint brilliance and sharp engraving. Even those showing mild circulation continue to attract strong interest, as their warm patina and subtle character tell the story of a Britain still rooted in craftsmanship. Numismatists often describe this year's coin as the calm before the storm, a beautiful yet bittersweet reminder that the age of pre-decimal coins was nearing its final chapter. The inscription, Elizabeth IIDEIGRATIA Regina F, remained untouched, proud, and elegant. These words carried tradition across centuries, reaffirming the monarchy's link with the nation's currency. Beyond its design and composition, the The 1964 halfpenny represents a cultural shift, an era of post-war rebuilding giving way to modernization. It was minted at a time when Britain's identity was evolving, yet still grounded in its royal and maritime past. Holding a 1964 coin today is like holding a heartbeat of that transition, the blend of old-world grace and modern ambition. For many collectors, it's not just valuable because of its market worth, but because of its symbolism. It's a bridge between eras, between the craftsmanship of the past and the mechanized minting of the future. Each surviving 1964 halfpenny whispers a story of the hands it passed through, from shopkeepers to sailors, from schoolchildren to collectors. Its history made tangible. The beauty of this coin lies in its authenticity. It's untouched by exaggeration, pure in purpose, and timeless in design. It remains one of the most admired bronze coins of the Elizabethan era, treasured by collectors who recognize its rarity not in numbers, but in legacy. And so, as the story of Britain's pre-decimal currency neared its end, the 1967 Elizabeth II halfpenny emerged, the final, glorious chapter of a coin that had served generations with loyalty, beauty, and meaning. The year 1967 stands as a milestone in British numismatic history. It marked not just another minting, but the end of an era, the last official issue of the halfpenny before decimalization forever changed the nation's coinage. This final halfpenny carried the full weight of history on its small bronze surface. Though its design remained familiar, the year's significance elevated it from simple currency to a symbol of farewell, a closing note to more than a century of craftsmanship. By 1967, Queen Elizabeth II's reign was well established. Her portrait by Mary Gillick, still featured on the obverse, had become iconic, a depiction of elegance, youth, and unwavering poise. It represented a monarchy that had adapted gracefully to a new age. The reverse design, showcasing Sir Francis Drake's Golden Hind, appeared one last time. Its sails, etched in immaculate detail, seemed almost to take their final voyage across British currency, the ship sailing into history as the world moved toward change. The Royal Mint ensured that the final issue would be worthy of its legacy. Minting quality was exceptional, producing coins of remarkable sharpness and finish. Even today, 1967 halfpennies stand out for their crisp edges, fine relief, and uniform brilliance. Struck in traditional bronze, these coins glowed with the same warm reddish tone that had defined the halfpenny for decades. For collectors, that metallic hue is more than color. It's emotion, memory, and craftsmanship blended into one. Despite being produced in high numbers, the 1967 halfpenny holds powerful sentimental value. It represents the last breath of an old system, a final link between Britain's rich numismatic past and the new decimal age that followed. When decimalization arrived just 4 years later, in 1971, the halfpenny was retired, but not forgotten. Collectors would look back to 1967 as the year that preserved the very soul of traditional British coinage. Today, pristine uncirculated 1967 halfpennies, especially those still in original mint luster, can fetch impressive values, sometimes reaching up to $2,500 at specialized auctions and collector events. Their value continues to rise as the supply of flawless specimens dwindles. Even circulated coins hold deep emotional worth. Each one tells a personal story of hands that earned, exchanged, and cherished them in a Britain that was simpler, slower, and proud of its heritage. Numismatists revere this final halfpenny for its symbolic power. It's not merely metal, it's the embodiment of closure, the graceful ending to an age of coins that shaped everyday British life. Its inscription, Elizabeth IIDEIGRATIA Regina F., serves as a timeless reminder of the Queen's enduring influence, marking her presence across every denomination that bore her name. The 1967 issue holds a special place among collectors worldwide because it bridges nostalgia with prestige. It's a coin that captures a nation's goodbye to one era and its quiet readiness for another. Every glint of its bronze surface seems to echo the hum of post-war Britain, the clatter of shop counters, and the turning gears of the Royal Mint, moments frozen forever in metal. To own one is to own a piece of that farewell, a tribute to tradition, excellence, and British pride that can never be replaced. The 1967 Elizabeth II halfpenny stands today not just as a collectible, but as a cornerstone of British heritage, proof that even the smallest coin can leave the largest legacy. For collectors, it's a reminder that history is not always found in gold or silver. Sometimes, it hides in bronze, carrying stories that shimmer brighter than any precious metal. And as the curtain fell on the halfpenny, a new monetary era was born. Yet, no decimal coin would ever capture hearts quite like the ones that came before. The 1967 halfpenny remains a shining farewell, the last great symbol of Britain's timeless minting tradition.